So as most of them are from first years, they asked that they didn't join the previous session. So I'll be just giving you the overview of what we did. So this is the second session which we are conducting. The study jumps are just the community groups which like us, which will be doing learning about Android app development. So in this, you will be completing a course called Android Basics in Kotlin, and you will be solving and developing various applications, and you will also get to know how to upload them into Google Play, and you will be getting certified too. So this is the process. We'll be having some units, like we'll be having 6 units. So in this, there will be 16 pathways which you should have to complete, and it will be also having quizzes. So after you submit those quizzes only, you will be getting badges where you will be showcasing them on your developer's profile. Make sure you have your developer's profile ready. Okay. And these are all the pathways which we'll be going through, starting from basic language and descriptions about Kotlin, then creating different types of apps. In this, they are like making you to develop 6 to 7 apps, starting from basic layout thing, uh, single screen activity to various interactive applications also. So you can most of them started going through the course too. Most of them have responded that, and so today we'll be seeing about the Kotlin programming, how it is going to be and all. My friend will be explaining this. So Hemant, over to you.
Hi everyone, myself Hemant. I will be your competitive programming lead for GDSC MCET chapter. Today we'll be learning some basics about Kotlin. Okay, so let me share you my screen and I'll demonstrate how everything is done. Okay, just give me a second, guys. So can you guys see my screen now?
Yeah, we are able to. You can
Yeah.
continue.
So as you all know, Kotlin is a Java-based programming language, and whatever you do in Kotlin is done inside a function. So there are what is variables. So first thing you need to get to know is what are variables. Variables are like a containers for our information. Variables hold data in all kind of ways. Okay, so we have two type of variables in Kotlin or in any kind of programming language. Those are mutable and immutable. Mutable means you can change the data inside it. Okay, while executing, you can change the data of that variable. Okay, next is an immutable. An immutable variable is a variable which cannot be changed once it's declared. Okay, we can access it, but we cannot change it. Okay, those are the two type of variables in any kind of programming languages. Okay, now first we have var and val. Var means it's a mutable variable, and val is a immutable data type. Okay, so first, whenever you start creating a variable, you need to specify this. Either it is a mutable variable or an immutable. So I want a mutable data type. So the syntax for it is var and your variable name. Let me give it as a name. Name is my variable. Okay. So to assign a value to a variable, we use equal sign. You see this equal sign? We use this equal sign to assign values to the variable. Now I can assign any value. This is a help desk. You can have all this. These are all the predefined options available in the Kotlin. Now, if I want to give a character means an alphabet or anything. I need to put it in double quotes. I put double quotes. And I put a character. This is a character. If I add many characters like this means a string. So a collection of characters is called a string. Okay. Okay. Next. Now, if I want to add a number, initialize a number, I just put an equal sign and add a number, any random number. That's up to us. Okay. This is our integer variable. Okay. This is called a variable in general. So if I initialize as val, then it is an immutable. I cannot change it at any cost. Okay. I can access it, but I cannot change it. If I initialize it as var, I can access it. At the same time, I can change it. Okay. I hope you guys understand about var and val. Next thing. We let us talk about data types. Okay. We have 5 data types. Okay. Those 5 are integer. Integer means number. This is an integer. Okay. This is an integer without any decimal points. Either it's a negative or a positive. It is called as an integer. So another thing in Kotlin, you do not specify the data type directly. Okay. If you want to define it as an integer, you can do one thing. I put a colon here and put int, I in capital, int is equal to. So this means I am putting the variable, initializing the variable as a integer variable. Okay. Now next is a float or a double. Float or double means a decimal point number like this point something. Whichever has a point after its whole number, it's called a floating point number or a double. Okay. The difference between float and double are float only returns a value up to 6 decimal points. Okay. If you want to have a double, it returns up to 15 decimal points. Okay. So you can get accurate values if you are going into any deep calculations. Okay. I can even initialize this as a double, but all the other slots will become zeros. Okay. Mm, so I put like this, then it becomes a double. Here D is capital. Okay. Whenever you initialize a variable with a specified data type, you need to have it as a first character capital. Okay. Next. Next, let us go to a character. I just said you what is a character. It's just a single alphabet or a numeric or a special character. Anything it may be. Special characters means hashtags, at the rates, hashtags, and everything. Okay, but anything you define as a string or a character should be inside the double quotes, like this. I open a double quotes and I put a q or a at the rate or a hashtag or a hashtag. Anything in a single letter is called a character. Next, I can put many characters. This means a string. Okay, these are the two other data types. Next I have a Boolean type. Boolean means true or false conditions. Booleans are used mainly for checking the conditions. Okay, checking the conditions, looping all the statements. I'll tell you more about the conditions and loops in the next 15 minutes. Okay, let us go through data types, operators, and all first. Okay, so these are the 5 data types. So next, comments are the sentences which you write for users reference. Like if I want to specify something to the user that this does this, like I initialize name as Hemant. Okay, I say I will tell you guys that this is my name. Okay, this is a variable which contains my name. Okay, so to close this comment, I will click enter and again put a slash. Okay, okay, you guys get it. So this is for a multi-line comment. Okay, for multi-line comment you use an asterisk and a backslash. Okay, for a single line comment we can use double slash. Okay, when I put double slash it becomes a single line comment. Okay, you get it. I hope you guys get it. Okay, next thing. Next we have operators. Okay, let's get into operators. I think you guys got some knowledge on data types. So next we let us go into operators. Okay, operators are of different types: arithmetic operators, logical operators, bitwise operators, and other. Okay, so let me uh, give an overview for everything. So arithmetic operations you all already know, like plus, minus, multiplication, that means asterisk, or backslash, that means normal slash, that means a division. So here we have 3 different operators additionally. So to get the remainder of a function, if I want to get the remainder of 10 by 5, so I put a modulus symbol here, a percentile symbol. That means I get the remainder of this operation. Okay, next thing, if I want to increment the value, that means add another number without changing it. Okay, without changing it in the sense I don't write like this, name plus 1. In place of this, I can write as name. Basically, I will denote it. Then I put name plus plus. Okay. This is called an increment operation. Okay. Now, let us once try printing it. Okay. So, to print any variable, I just need to write that variable name. Okay. Like this. Now, I click on run. You see, the output is 11. So, let us put this after our print statement. Let me remove this all. And I'll increment it here. Then I'll again write this print statement. Okay, then what happens? First the 10 will be printed, then 11 will be printed. Okay, now guys get it? Okay, I hope you guys get it. Now there's an operation for deducting a number too. So for that I put name minus minus. Okay, if I put a minus minus there, that means it will decrement. You see, it's a value 10, and again after that the value has changed to 9. Okay, this is about increment and decrement operations. Okay, next, as I already told you about assignment operation. Okay, equals is used for assignment. Okay, this is only one kind of operators in assignment operation. Okay, equals sign. Okay, next. Next, we can already also use arithmetic operations with assignment operators. Like I can add this number to another number. Like I can put name plus is equal to 10. That means 10 will be added to the print name again. You see, here it is 20 here. Okay, instead of writing like name is equal to name plus 10, I write it like name is equal to name plus is equal to 10. Okay, if I put it like this, then 10 is added. If I put minus equal to, if I put minus equal to, it will deduct. Okay, if I put asterisk equal to, it will multiply it by 10. Okay, if I put by equal to, then it will divide it. Okay, these are the operations. Even we can use modulus operation here also. Okay, okay, here if 10 by 10 is 1, remainder is 0. So here we have 0 as a remainder and minus 1 here, because we are decrementing the value here. Okay, okay, next, these are the all assignment operations we can do on the variable. Okay, next, we have comparison operations. That means comparing a variable. Now we only have one variable here. Okay, we have only one variable here. Now let us create another variable where digit. Okay, digit is like 25. Okay, now here comparison operators are basically used for conditional statements like if condition. Okay, I'll tell you about if conditions now. Okay, now an if condition is a condition where we write code in that if a condition is satisfied, then that part of the code is executed, or else it is not executed. For example, okay, so I put an if and open a brackets, and I write like if digit is greater than name, then brackets to make it readably good. So here I will write if digit is greater than name, I'll say print ln of digit. Okay, so now let us test this. Now let me comment this out. Okay, now let us test this if condition. Okay, see, digit is 25 and number is name is 10. So 25 is greater than 10, no? Because of that, it printed 25. If I change this to 5, if I change this to 5, then let us check it again. Hmm? It did not print anything because digit is not greater than name. Okay, I can show you running it again. So no output. Okay, okay. I hope you guys get it. Now we have known about if. Now there's a condition called else. That means if the condition is not satisfied, there should be something to be done, no? So let us put an else condition here. Else, I'll open parenthesis, open brackets. Now here I'll write print ln of name. Okay, if this condition is not satisfied, this part of the code is not executed. Okay, this part of the code is not executed and it goes to this part directly. Okay, whatever happens, the if this condition is not satisfied, it compulsorily satisfies this condition. Okay, let us try this. Okay, you see 10 is printed here because 5 is not greater than 10. 10 is printed here. Okay, okay, I hope you guys understand. Now if you want multiple ifs, okay, if you want multiple ifs, those are called nested ifs. I can put another if condition inside this, like if name greater than digit, then I'll write print ln of name. Okay, let us try this. Okay, here it is 10 because this is not executed. hmm? This is not executed, then this is executed. So okay, this is about nested ifs. Now let me tell you about else if. That means if this condition is not satisfied, if you don't want to write nested ifs, then you can try this. If else if, here I need to put some condition. Okay, here in place I put name greater than or equal to digit. That means if name is either greater than digit or it is equal to digit, this part of the code will be executed. Okay, now let me put it as 10. Okay, 10 is not greater than 10, then this part of the code is not executed. Okay, so this part of the code is executed because it is greater than or equal to symbol. Okay, this is a conditional operation. Comparison, here we are doing comparison. in this else if condition like this. Okay, I hope you got it. Next, these are about if, else if, and else conditions. Here I can put another else condition, else print ln of. Here in printing I can put a string, like if I want to enter any string as a print inside the print statement, I open the double quotes. Wherever you want to write a print state string, you always open it in a inverted commas. Okay, so here I write um, not equal. Okay, if this is not correct, then it goes like that. Okay, okay, not equal. Okay, I hope you guys get it. Next, let us go to loops. Okay, loop means there will be a condition. Likewise, we have already um, compared here, right? In the f, here we use the greater than symbol. Okay, okay. I actually forgot to tell you guys about bitwise operators. Okay, bitwise are not logical operators. So here in if conditions, we can check two conditions at the same time. Okay, like if I want both the conditions to be true, then I'll put double and. Okay, the symbol represents and operation. Okay, and digit is greater than or equal to name. Okay, in this situation we don't need this condition. Okay, this else condition. Okay, now let us run this. Hmm? See, and means it checks for this condition as well as this condition. Okay, now if I put an or, logical or, I put this symbol, this is a or operation. Either this or this is satisfied. Either of them are satisfied, then this part of the code is executed. Okay, okay, you guys see this like this. This is a simple operation. Next, we have our conditional statements. Now, uh, here we have four looping conditions: when, while, do while, and for. Okay, so we maximum at max we use for and while. Do while and when are used rarely. Okay, okay. Now let me tell you guys about when condition. Okay, so now let me change this. Now, so I'll assign a operator. I'll initialize a variable of val, which is an immutable, to a variable name called day is equal to when. Here when condition comes, when of your name is a variable, this is a condition. Okay, when this number is there, number or anything inside this variable. Okay, I open a bracket. Here I'll write all the conditions. If it's one, here I put a arrow symbol like this. Okay, I put an arrow like this. If 1, then I put it as Monday. Okay, if it is 2, then I'll put it as Tuesday. Okay, if it is 3, then it is Wednesday. If it is 4, it is Thursday. Okay, we have less time, so I won't go into that deep. So outside this condition, I'll put an print statement. Okay, I put print ln of day. Okay, now let me run it. So in a when condition, you need to always have an else condition. Okay, so here I'll put else as invalid day. Okay, let me run it. Okay, as you guys see, 4 means Thursday. Here I got a output as Thursday. Okay, this is about when condition. Okay, now let us go into a while looping condition. Okay, now the while is a keyword. Just like I put while, this is a keyword. I open parenthesis, and inside this I put a condition like if name is greater than 0. Okay, until name is greater than 0, this part of the code will work. So I open a brackets. So here I'll put print ln of name. Okay, now here I decrement the value, because if I don't decrement the value, this is gonna continuously run until I manually close the program. Okay, so here I put name minus minus. Okay, so let us see how many times it will print. Okay, there's some error with this compiler. I'll just skip this one. Okay, next let us go into some classes. Okay, classes, objects, and all. Okay, before going into classes, we need to talk about functions. Whatever code you write here is done inside a function. Okay, now this might work. Okay, see here, the spelling was wrong. I was in a bit hurry. So here you can see the value was 4, and until it was 1, it got executed. As it is only greater than 0, it only printed up to 4. If I had put equal to, then 0 would also be printing. Okay, it's like this. This is a condition, while condition. Okay, next we have two operations in a while condition, that are break and continue. So break means, if here, to use a break condition, I need to use an if condition. So I put if name is equal to 2. Then what it should do? It should break. Break is used to completely exit from this loop. Completely take the control out of this loop. Okay. So see what happened. Okay. Hmm. This is something error with this compiler definitely. Okay. I have just given you the overview of what is break. We can also use continue here. That means it only skips one iteration of the loop. That means this 2 won't be printed here. Okay. Yeah. There's a problem with this. Okay. So I'll put name minus minus here. Okay. Now let me try it again. Now let me put break. Okay. After name was 2, the condition got stopped. Okay. This is about break and continue statements. Now let me go into for loop. Okay. Here in this while loop, we cannot say how many times it will iterate, but in a for condition, we definitely know how many times it will iterate. Okay, that means we define how many times it should iterate. Okay, I'm not going to tell you guys about that. Everything I have been teaching you will be in the course, in the pathways, all the pathways. In the first few pathways you will be going through all of this. Now let me go into some object oriented programming. Okay, you will definitely come across this object oriented programming. Okay, now let me go into classes. Okay, I'll stop my screen share. Okay, I already stopped. Okay, all right. So classes are the blueprint of a template. That means classes are the combinations of different objects. An object is a instance of a class. Okay, an object means, as you can see in the example in the screen, a class contains a object called laptop. Okay, as in the market you guys have already gone through this, because there are different kind of laptops, Windows laptop, Apple laptop, iOS, and all, Macintosh, I mean Mac. So based on the characteristics of the objects, both of them are uh, molded into one class called laptop. Okay, this this MacBook and this Dell laptop both have their own systems. Okay, but because of those characteristics in common, they are classified into a class called laptops. Okay, next next slide. So I've already told you about object oriented. It's a very important part of computer science. So we have 6 parts of it, 6 main instructions of it. I have already told you about class and object. Now let us go into inheritance. Inheritance means inheriting properties and objects and methods from a parent class to a new class. Okay, Suppose we have two different classes, we can just inherit all the properties of our base class into our new class. Okay, that's called inheritance. Polymorphism. Polymorphism means you can use a single function for a different operation. Okay, suppose if I have initialized a function for printing like an area of a object. Okay, area of a rectangle, I say. So I can change it and use it for area of a square too. Okay, that's polymorphism. Now abstraction. Abstraction means hiding all the important data like your uh, private data and all, and your main code. In coding part, abstraction means uh, hiding all the important data. Next, encapsulation. Encapsulations means binding two different parts of a code or two different entire codes together. It's called encapsulation. These are the six main parts of OOPS. You guys are definitely gonna be a part of this soon. Okay. This has been my part of the presentation. Over to you, Pritam. Thank you for listening, guys.
This was a great session, Hemant. Thanks for it. Um, that was a very lot of information you have shared. So, as he taught about all the different data types, variables, and operators, strings, all of these are the programming concepts of Kotlin. So, you won't be using most of this in application programming. That will be different from normal programming to the application development thing. So, most of the things which we'll be using is those if else statements, and classes are the most important thing which we will be using for developing Android applications. So let's get into some of them. So before that, let me show you about in the previous sessions I taught you like there is every screen which you will be seeing on an application, it is called an activity, right? As you see here, this Instagram page where this first screen is called an activity. This is the second activity. This is how which we build applications. So as this all this text and these images will be called as views inside the activity. So let me show this to you by getting into Android Studio. You're able to see the Android Studio page, right? Is everyone able to text in the message box?
Yes, Pritam, all can use the chat box.
Yeah. You can see my screen, right? This Android Studio thing.
Yes, yes, we can see it.
So this is what appears when you start creating a new project. You can go through this. We'll be sharing you the recorded video of the previous one. So starting with the main activity, this is where you code the Kotlin code. So we don't be doing the println these functions in the .kt file. This Android Studio thing will be having more than that. Okay, we don't actually be using that type of functions. We don't be having main function. As you see here, you have on create function. This is where every programming start, every program execution activity flows will start. And here is where the .xml file, you can see how an activity is. This screen is called an activity, right? So the same way in the PPT I was showing you, this is an activity, and things in that are called views. So, we have a text view here. Like this, we can have a button view. We can have different other views as we see it here. Text view, button view, image and recycler view. I'll be getting into this in a bit while. So the thing I want to share is, as everything has a life cycle, this activity screen also has a life cycle. So when you open an Instagram app, and you get when you navigate it to your chats, then you won't be seeing the first screen, right? Where will that screen be going? So it won't be like when you press the back button again, it will be getting back to the same screen, right? So I want to tell you here is, this activity will go through different levels of phases, uh, in which there will be, you can see this one. So these are all the different phases an activity will go into when we start an application. As when you navigate to this screen, the navigate to the second screen, the chat applications, the first screen will be resumed, and then it will be stopped unless until you get back to the news feed screen, right? That activity launched will be started with on create function, as you have seen in the Android Studio Kotlin file. It will be starting with on create function. This is where all the code goes into, and after that, when an activity starts, it goes into start function, on start function. From there, it will be divided into two parts, like whether to resume the uh, application, like when you are moving into next screen, this has to be resumed, right? This can't take the data or the memory from your phone, so it will be a burden for your phone, right? So in order to reduce that, this activity gets resumed, and this gets into different phases, like on pause, on stop, and on destroy. On this on destroy phase, you will be seeing your applications getting crashed sometimes, right? They will be dead, and you will be clearing your caches to the recent applications which you have opened. You will clear them, right? When you start the application, it will uh, again restarts it, go to the same page which you have opened. So that's what happened in this all phases. And coming to some different components and terminology things, as I said, every screen is an activity. So let me show you uh, a project which I did in my which I did for my mini project. Let me show that to you. This is based on food ordering application actually. So, no, once, as you know, this will be taking time for loading all the files and all. So make sure your internet connection is proper. So as I was always stressing about your internet connection, because as Android Studio can't direct download all the dependencies, libraries, and tools it want. So we can't directly access it with the SDK. So in order to fetch the details and data, that syncing will be done from internet. So we need a proper internet connection for that. So as you see, uh, I missed one thing. Most of you have created the emulator, I think. Some of you have tried and messaged me in the group too. So as you see here, next to the app drop down, you will have here an Avd Manager. So in this, you get to create an emulator. I have already one. So in order to create another one, you can just click it here and select all the version or the mobile type which you want, and select the thing and press next. You will be seeing all the Android versions. If possible, download one of those and click next. As I always already having R in this. So you can also set the landscape side or the portrait side which you wanted, and you can just press the finish button and all the downloading thing will start. Okay, then you will be able to create the emulator. But most of them, as the message, they are having um, some device installation is not properly done or so. So you can make sure that in this tool sections, go to the SDK Manager, and where you will see all the software. These are all the software development kit which they are providing. You can download it through this. Click on the things which you want to download and apply the settings. So those dependencies or tools will get downloaded. So apart from creating an emulator, you can directly download your app to your mobile phone by allowing the debugger options and all. So in this project, as you see here, there are different activities present over here. Starting with the login screen, let me show you the layout file. This is where you have all the layouts, the front end screens which you will be able to see. This is how the front end page looks like. You have to do all this. So these are the edit text where you ask user to get their input, like you will be typing your email address and password, right? So those are called edit text. So everything you create in a .xml file is called a view. Okay. So these views are told to XML, but when you want to initialize it, when you want to run the operations on those views, you have to tell it to Kotlin files too, right? So this activity dot login dot xml file will be initializing all the views onto the Kotlin file. Okay, this is how to do that. So as in the coding part, we used var and val, right? Here we used var, which is mutable. We can change the types over here. We'll be using late init here because which means we are initializing it lately in between the program. So in order to just tell the program that we'll be initializing this text views or button views later, we just have to lately initialize them prior the running process. So as you see here, we have this find view by ID thing. This is a predefined function where it binds the views which you have created on the .xml file. See, as you have a mobile number here, we will be having so whenever you are creating a view, you have to give the resource ID to that view. It should be unique, and these things have to be initialized in the Kotlin files too. So in order to make them interactive and move them to next operation, so if at all there is a button, you have this function called set on click listener, where it allows you to perform click actions on your button. So as this statement says that txt forgot password had a on click listener on it, and we are starting an activity as this is some process of the life cycle thing, and this function called intent will help in moving from the uh, this login screen to the forgot password screen. When you press the forgot password button, you will be redirected to the next screen called forgot password activity, where you will be having this type of screen. You will be navigated to that by using the function called intent. You get it right? So like this, there are different functions in it. Um as you see here, there are multiple lines with the same thing called find view by id. um, we actually, there is a thing came as this project was 1 year old, and there is a new thing came into picture called Jetpack Library, which helps in reducing this boilerplate code, and we can have just a single code to bind all the views present in the XML file to the Kotlin file, and thus that how the binding thing goes. And buttons will be having this on click listeners. Uh, so all these things you will be seeing on the course platform, which you have to do. So yeah. So start the process. Go with the codes. Do complete all the course thing. We'll get to you in the next session. Thank you very much. No one is responding actually.
Pritam,
Yeah.
uh, can you repeat the UI, Android Studio UI explanation you gave in starting? It seems some people were unable to follow.
Uh,
Activity.
which which one? This one or the before one? About activity and views.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got this right. Like this is called an activity. So every screen which you see on your application when you start an application is called an activity, and the things which are present like this image and the text views, um, and these other buttons which you will be having, all these are called views, which you will be having on the .xml files. Like in this layout things, you'll be having uh, all the views. So this is an edit text view, and this thing is an image view, and this login thing is a button view. So this whole thing is called as an activity, and it is having all these views. Got it? So we have to bind those views with the Kotlin too. So in order to do that, we'll initialize all the resource ID things by using find view by ID function. So yeah, that's it. Anything more? Any more doubts you're having?
If anyone has any doubts, you can raise your hands.
Or you can just text it in the chat box. So yeah, someone raised their hand. You have your mic
Hello,
access. You
good
can
evening,
use.
Hemant sir.
Yeah.
Hemant sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, you have said five types of data types. One is float, int, double, and one more, sir.
L- Listen, there are five. int, double, string, character, and a boolean. Okay, in double you have two different types in double. It's a floating point or a normal double. Float means you'll have up to 6 decimal points. If it's a double, it has up to 15 decimal points. Okay, double has much more accuracy if you go into deep calculations. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, in C programming for float we use percentage %f. What
Yes.
will be using double?
For double, I think we use percentile. I don't remember. Just a second, I'll tell you.
So which one you are asking? In Kotlin, are you asking?
No, no, he's asking about C language.
Achha, achha.
Mm,
Percentile F, I think.
yeah, we use percentile F only. Yeah,
Okay,
generally,
sir.
while
Sir, once
initializing, we
again you
can
can repeat.
initialize as double. Yeah,
Sir, once again you can repeat 5 types that.
yeah, they are integer, int. You're writing them down, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, integer, double, character, string, and boolean. You don't find string in C
See,
programming. You need to uh, have a different terminology for that. Okay, you
sir,
cannot directly
Boolean,
initialize it. The boolean
Boolean
is the
also, sir.
last one.
Yes, Boolean
Boolean
also we can't
last.
find in C.
We can find boolean in C. Boolean
See
is in
how.
every
The
programming
true or
language.
false will be there, right? Boolean is called the true or false thing.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. Anyone has any doubts more? Okay, we have reached the end of the session, guys. If you guys have any doubts, you can reach us out in the group, or you guys can find our contacts in the group. You can uh, uh, private messages if it's troubling
Yeah,
you.
you can message them in the group. We'll be addressing
Yeah.
you everything.
Okay. Have a great day, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks for
done.
listening our
Done with the
session.
session. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye. You can leave now.
Have a great day, guys. You can leave the session.